of the hour. I got my main man, the comedian, as though we have a guest tonight. I have a guest tonight. Somebody's gonna leave the arena crying tonight. Leaving the door without what's going on. Sports for everybody, for whatever. So finished second in the vote. That's Wichita State. Now, totals go like this: 25,000, 50 grand. So right now we're at 275. He get another 10 this degree, but took the chance and it almost backfired on him. If a bunch of people, a guy who likes to be ahead of the game, John Calipari, had like 7 million Williams, which it's like really good. I mean, and for me, Forrest, none of that stuff is for those because they're worth it. List of everybody's stuff here. Talk about this free education nonsense. For the way I read a story, saw a headline of that. I didn't even read the story. Apparently Nike is in games 30. Nah, he probably get one of them Ben Simmons college games and not now pro game. We hit Ben Simmons with the big grand. My gosh. Understanding that the machine hand Davey. He got some Jamaican food going. See, now my man Reg saying that I'm breaking up, so I'm not even coming through clearly. This is a cluster, you know what, man. God, this is a cluster. Anyway, the other thing that came to mind today, and when we get back from the break, I got Shang, comedian Shang, joining me. But I want to give you guys my hashtag, put it on the poll questions for the day. Hashtag, put it on the poll. Type in that hashtag and go to @1Mike with Big Mike on Twitter. You can answer the poll questions for the day as well. Also, I got to figure out a way with the NBA playoffs coming up. My home team, the Atlanta Hawks, will be in the NBA playoffs, and I got a couple of Hawks brims to give away, and I got to figure out a way to do it. So if anybody got any ideas, you can text the show at 404-902-8104. Text your ideas to me. You can also leave them, tweet them to me at 1Mike with Big Mike or Instagram, whatever you want to do, or jump on in this live interactive chat room I got going on here on Spreaker.com. Spreaker.com. Spreaker also has an app that's available for all your mobile devices. So go ahead and go to your app store and download that. Once you do, sign up for your free Spreaker account and then follow the show 1Mike with Big Mike on Spreaker. And then you get an alert every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday when the show goes live so you can join me and have a good old time. Like I said, apparently my man Reggie who helps out with the show, he helps me produce the show, says I'm breaking up a little bit, and I can actually see that happening on my screen. The player keeps resetting or reconnecting or something like that. And the Spreaker people told me they was going to take care of it, but I guess I'm just paying for terrible service, I guess. Anyway, I also wanted to talk about one of my hashtag put it on the poll questions has to do with UConn. While I wasn't here, UConn lost for like the first time in 112 ball games, and they lost at the buzzer to Mississippi State in the Final Four. And it was a big deal, and everybody was losing their mind because everybody, like, people act like people hate winners for whatever reason. People want to see like greatness fall. That's the society that we live in now. It is what it is, whatever. But it happened. But then Mississippi State turns around and loses in the championship game by like 12 points to South Carolina. Shout out to South Carolina, by the way. But I guess I have a question, like, for the people who, especially the people who were talking about the Warriors last year, like 73 wins don't mean nothing if you didn't get the championship. Well, that celebration that they had about beating Kentucky or UConn, it felt like a championship type celebration, but they didn't finish it. So the question is immediately that pops into my mind was, what the hell does it all mean then? Okay, the streak was going to end eventually. I think it was probably, from my perspective, the way things ended up shaking out, you could probably make the argument that Mississippi State actually won the championship for South Carolina since they didn't have to play UConn. And the other point is, though it was probably a worse loss for UConn because they didn't get to, put the cherry on top, than it was a good win. It was a worse loss for UConn than it was a good win for Mississippi State based on the way everything played out. I think because we're talking about women, people love to, like, I don't understand that whole, we want to be treated equally thing, but then accepting that whole vibe that people give off. Like, you can't criticize girl sports. Like, I think it was, the same criticism. I don't feel this way. I feel like it was a hell of an accomplishment. You knocked that team off. You did some work. The last second shot was awesome. But if you were the person who railed against the Warriors for not finishing the deal, you can't be like happy. Feel me? You can't be happy for Mississippi State. You know what I mean? They essentially, like I said before, they essentially won the championship for USC, for South Carolina. That I remember them losing to this same UConn team a few weeks back. All right, coming up next, Shang, comedian Shang, HBO Comedy Central cat, touring the country. He's everywhere at all times, just coming back from Nassau, Bahamas. So we'll see if we can get him on the line. I'm not sure if I'm calling him or he's calling me, but we'll figure it out. This is the One Mic with Big Mike show. I'm heard live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Spreaker.com. I'm also on the Spreaker app, the TuneIn app, as well as my website, onemicwithbigmike.com.
I have one question for you.
Do you or someone you know run a business that could benefit from additional exposure? The One Mic with Big Mike show is currently taking on new sponsors and advertisers. One Mic with Big Mike is currently syndicated across 8 different online platforms, and your company's name could be heard and seen across all 8 as well.
Let's get to work.
Please send all inquiries to Mike at onemicwithbigmike.com. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your continued support.
All I need is one mic.
I heard on the news about that 5-year-old who found his uncle's gun. The kid didn't know it was loaded.
I heard on the news about that 14-year-old girl who was bullied online for like a year. She couldn't take it anymore, so she got her dad's gun from his nightstand.
I heard on the news about that guy who broke into someone's house, stole a gun from the hall closet.
He accidentally shot his cousin in the head.
She killed herself.
And later, killed the owner of the store he was trying to rob.
If you own a gun, you have a full-time responsibility. When you aren't using it, be sure it can't get into the hands of curious children, troubled teenagers, a thief, or anyone else who might misuse it. Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Remember, always, lock it up. For more information on firearms storage safety, visit ncpc.org. This message brought to you by the National Crime Prevention Council, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, and the Ad Council.
And now, back to One Mic.
What are we waiting for? Let's get to it.
With Big Mike.
Welcome back to the One Mic with Big Mike show. I am, of course, Big Mike. Trying to get in touch with my guest, Shango Forbes, comedian. Oh, I was like, what the hell is that? Is that me? Hold on, everybody. I got a lot going on right now. All right. Yeah, everything's going on right now. All right. Anyway, the show's being heard live right now on Spreaker, the Spreaker app. I'm also, of course, on TuneIn and my website, onemicwithbigmike.com. Having a lot of technical issues today. This is a weird situation that's going on right now with my oh, there we go. There we go. All right, let me plug up everything real quick. Got my guy on the phone right now. All right, here we go. Didn't know if he was calling me or calling him. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as promised, joining the show right now, joining the One Mic with Big Mike show, comedian, actor, activist. Haven't talked to this dude in a while, man. My main man, Shang, he's in the building.
Yes. Definitely.
What's good with you, man? How was the Bahamas?
It was cool. Yeah, the show went excellent. It's just I couldn't do as much political stuff because they started off with like a political debate rally before I went up. So I was like, the crowd was like, oh, we already,
Wait, what? Wait, they were debating their politics or the politics here?
Yes, they had the politics in their country. People who are running for office went up. 3 of them and debated before I went up on
before the comedy joint.
Before the comedy, but it went good though. It went good,
dude.
They
should do that here. They should do like John McCain and Bernie Sanders, and then bring out, I don't know, Kevin Hart after it's over with to kind of just smooth it out, because like the way stuff is going around this joint is just like ridiculous. Make sure you guys, first of all, make sure you guys check out the website. I am Shang. Follow my man on Twitter and Instagram. Comedian Shang. Also, you bring something up when you do these shows in other countries. Do you have to kind of do that and kind of play it by ear to see what the vibe is like, because to see what's going to translate to the crowd that you're performing in front of?
Yeah, I mean, like if I'm in Jamaica, I have to, you have to definitely make it translate. I do, because my stuff is so America specific, pertaining to the politics going on in America, and the racism going on in America, and the racism, sexism, chauvinism, capitalism, and just isms in general. So they like right now they get real. You got to kind of make it as plain as possible.
He's got the 1 hour special coming out, Shangri. You can pre-order that joint Shangri on Target, Walmart, Best Buy. You can go to FYE and pre-order right now. Tell us about Shangri, my man.
Shangri is an hour special. We, myself, Dave, Adam Wasserman, and Dave Goldberg produced. We did it in New York City and in Manhattan, and it was off the chain. And if you go to the website, I Am Shang, you can see some of the clips. It's gonna be in all the stores, and hopefully later on it will be on Netflix. We're waiting to see what they say. So far so good. But it's gonna be in stores, Barnes and Nobles, Walmart, Target, FYE, and it's gonna be in the little hood stores too. Don't get it twisted. So you can get it in the hood stores.
But you got to make sure you tell them it's gonna be the official copies, the ones you want them to get, not the ones that are gonna be outside, outside the hood store, the ones that are in the store.
Yeah, now the African dude selling them on the corner, that's going to be a different one. The quality's not going to be as good, but still, pick it up and support them. Why not?
You look at you. See, that's the realness right there. Still giving the bootleg man some love.
Give the bootleg man some love. Why not? Ain't nothing. I can't chase them all around. One time, my album, I was so excited. I had my first album on like a label, and I was walking up the street in New York, right? And he was selling all these CDs, and I saw my bootleg of my CD. Now, it had been about a month, and he saw me and said, oh, I'm so sorry, and I was like, no, man, hey, that's kind of cool. Hey, let me buy one of those for $5.
That's all right.
And I bought my own, which is crazy, and then I gave it to somebody. But this still, right now it's going good with at least the way people responded. But hey, go out and buy it, because I know how hard it is to sell stuff, and it's only $8. So settle down. Don't act like I'm killing you on the price.
Right.
So go. Yeah, but it's only available right now online. It's available online, like at these stores, at the different Target, Walmart, Best Buy, FYE, Barnes and Noble, and I forget, they gave me a whole list of them, but those are the 5 I remember. But yeah, and you can check it out if you think, I don't know if it's funny or not. Check out my website, IamShang.com, and you can check it out. And I go, it's raw. So if you're like a Christian person that don't like profanity and don't like, oh my God, he said it, I can't believe he said that, Jesus Christ. Well, you ain't gonna like it.
Right.
But if you like it raw and real, I do talk about some stuff the police need to get their stuff together. I talk about the police a little bit. I talk about politics. I talk about racism in the country. Okay, I talk about it. I got to get into it, because they need to know. People need to know.
What's that Netflix process like? You say you're trying to get into Netflix. What is the process to get your project on Netflix? Do you not just send them a bag of cash and like, look, we want to put our stuff on Netflix, put it on there, or they have to actually accept your situation to Netflix? Is that what we're talking about?
No, you send it to them, and I'm going through a distributor.
Okay.
Right now I'm going through a distributor. So I'm waiting to see which way they're going to go with it. But I mean, I've seen some of the specials on there, and I know that mine is definitely equal, if not more, and a lot of the comics that they do have on there literally have to open for me. So that's the truth. That's not me being a narcissist or cocky. It's really, and the comics know it too. Like, they couldn't follow me in a car, let alone on stage, and that's just real. That's not Like what somebody said, well, who you Floyd Mayweather? Why you saying that? I'm like, no, that's just the truth.
Somebody
like,
actually said that?
Like I would, yeah, I said, like I can't follow Kevin Hart. I mean, I could follow him in a club. You know, I could follow him if they put me up after him. I don't care. I'll follow anybody. But what I'm saying is, it's not going to be the same.
Yeah.
People go. Even I could be funnier than Kevin. It's not going to match because he's so big, and I'm very proud of him. I'm very, very, very proud of him, and I hope that he gets, you know, as much stuff as he can. I mean, he's doing his thing.
Definitely, definitely. The other voice that you're hearing right now on the One Mic with Big Mike show is comedian, actor, activist, my man Shang. Follow him on Twitter and Instagram at comedian Shang, and be sure to definitely check out the website I Am Shang. Let's talk subject matter. With you, is there anything that's off limits? Anything you won't touch? I've asked a few comedians this, and they usually have an answer. Like I remember Rodney Perry telling me that he kept people who were considered icons off of his list. Like he won't do no Whitney Houston jokes or no Michael Jackson jokes and things like that. Is there anything that's off limits for you?
Well, no, I don't think there's anything off limits for me. I mean, even icons, because if icons slip up and do something stupid, if an icon wake up butt naked in a bed full of midgets and I find out about it,
that's ridiculous.
I'm like, hey man, I respect your work, but what's with the 6 butt naked midgets? I gotta know, and I got to let the people know. So
that's like one of my dreams. 6 midgets.
Yeah, I know, man.
Midgets are awesome,
they
dude.
Just roll around in little tiny titties everywhere.
Yeah, dude. Midgets are awesome, dude.
They're awesome. It's just a whole bunch of them, just a whole bunch of bad little midget chicks just rolling around.
Like you've been in the game for a while too, man. And like you notice sometimes with comedians, like especially I don't know if it's age or if it's status that changes them. Like the Chris Rocks, the Eddie Murphys of the world. I don't know if it's kids. Maybe your kids make you kind of get a little bit milder. You're a father yourself. As you've aged, have you found the challenge? Well, I don't know. Like, look, I just turned 40 last week, so I don't really know what that means. See,
you are
come
young.
on, dog.
Listen, young blood. I can say that now.
Come on, dog.
Listen, young blood. Watch yourself, Cracker Jack.
Like, that don't make me feel no better about it either. I mean, because there's so many things that I'm starting to realize I don't understand people of another generation, and that's how I know it's getting to be that point. But for you with your comedy, are there any things that as you've gained status or as you've gotten older, your perspective has changed on things? Has Shang softened in any areas as far as the comedy is concerned?
No. I've gotten way. In fact, I've gotten worse. No, I'm serious. I'm way worse. I'm way worse.
That's awesome, man. Like, I feel like me and you can hang because I'm like that too. Like, I'm getting older, but I feel like I can't wait to be like a real old black man. And then I want some money too. That way I can just say what I want to whoever I want to say it to. Like, those are the two components. One, I can take care of. I will be older. The rich part, I still got to work on that. But then, yeah, you can just say whatever you want to people in public, on TV, wherever you want to. And it's cool. It's acceptable.
Just walk up, hey, look at that ugly little baby.
Right,
just
immediately.
Ugly little baby. You know, look like me when I was younger, just ugly. Just, I don't, yeah, if anything, I've gotten worse because I figured I haven't made it to the level I want to make it. That's real. Anybody listen, that's the truth. I haven't, I'm working on it. Like
what level is that? On it. Like, what is the level you want to make it to?
I wouldn't mind like a couple notches below Chris Rock, because I mean he's huge, and or one of those cats where, or at least to be comfortable enough where I'm not. I got to grind so much to do, shows and stuff. I still got to do shows to pay bills.
Yeah.
I don't know about the rest of these cats. I mean, like Kevin Hart could literally take off a year and he'd be fine.
Right. Okay.
Or 2 years and still be fine. Whereas I can't do that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, I would like to be able to be in a position just where I'm comfortable, not even balling out of control. Just where okay, car is paid for. Okay, cool. And it's weird. There's a perception that I'm doing better than I am. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not doing like horrible.
Right.
but I'm grinding. I don't have management. I don't have, I don't have an agent or anything like that. But I somehow seem to get it done. I still get bookings. I still get, which is crazy.
Do those things kind of snowball though? Like you say, I want to be comfortable. I don't want to be balling out. But with comedians, because I look at certain people. I look at like Gerard Carmichael, even Kevin Hart. It feels like the little stuff happens, and then once the big thing happens, more big things happen, and like you can't just turn it down. Like people wonder about Kevin Hart, and I think people feel like Kevin Hart is overexposed, but I just feel like Kevin Hart has reached his time, and he realizes that he's in his time now. And so like when the projects come, it's like, well, I'm comfortable. Like you just put, I'm comfortable, but what's wrong with a little more comfort? Let me do this movie with The Rock. Let me do this movie with Matthew McConaughey or whoever. And it feels like for some guys, things kind of snowball. Do you feel like Anthony Anderson? Anthony Anderson's hosting everything now. He's got Blackish. He's doing a lot more stuff, Food Network type stuff. So when you say you want to be comfortable, would you at any point just be like, all right, no, I'm at the place I want to be at. I'm gonna go ahead and pass on that right now.
I'll pass on stuff now if it's something that's demeaning to the black folks.
Word, man.
Yeah, I don't even care. I mean, I've already done that. I've already put myself in a financial position where I've had an offer for something that was really, more money, and I just was like, nah, I'm good. It was just like something I was just like, nah, that's not something I want in my life.
Good for you. Respect, man. Respect.
And it don't get me wrong. I mean, I look at it and go, dang, why did I do that? But then I think about it and go, you know what? It's just something that I don't want to be in that position.
Is there a shelf life for stand-up comedians? And the reason I ask, because I haven't seen the Chappelle situation yet on Netflix. I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard the reviews, and some people are real up on it. Some people are real down on it. And I think some people believe, like we talked about earlier, some people believe that a comedian is going to be the same guy who left the Chappelle show 10 years ago, when this man he's lived life and his life has changed. And maybe what you're hearing or seeing on stage is the same guy with a different perspective. So my question to you kind of piggybacks the question I asked you earlier about you changing. Oh, okay. Is there a shelf life to where you can still be funny, but if you're not the funny that you were when you were at your peak, people kind of bristle at it?
No, not for me.
My word.
Not for me. I mean, no, and I don't think so for Chappelle. I just think that, it's just, there's too much stuff going on for me to act like, well, I can't talk about that and make that a joke from that. So I wouldn't say that's the case for me.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say that even is the case for Chappelle.
It's just because it seems like a lot of times too, we live in a society that people are gonna people are always looking for that downside. Like we don't have a situation in the world, I don't think, where people can appreciate someone anymore. It's not about the person that won. It's about the person that lost. Always. You know what I mean? We don't congratulate people. We just ridicule the people who didn't do as well. And I think that serves the same thing when you talk about a guy like Dave Chappelle and someone says, man, he wasn't as funny as he was, man. He didn't do the Rick James bitch situation. And, people want to live in that one era of another person, for example. People had want me to do jokes I did on Comic View. Damn.
And I'm like, I'm like, I don't even do that joke. Me and my girl came to see you do that joke. You ain't gonna do that joke? No, I'm not. No, I'm not gonna do that joke. And then they get an attitude with me. I've had them flat out get an attitude with me. So I don't know why people like that. And then when you do the same joke, they go, "Oh, he did the same joke." It's like, which one is it?
Yeah.
Which you gonna do?
Yeah, Guy Torres said
is it?
He said it's like
he said the same thing.
He said with musicians, he said like people show up to see, I don't know, the Ozzy Brothers, and they want to hear the same hits over and over and over again. But they show up to see a comedian. If he say one joke out the whole set that they heard before, it's a damn problem for some reason. You know what I mean? Like the double standard and people. I really don't think people have an appreciation for comedy, for stand-up comedy. You know what I mean? I think because everybody feels like they have said something funny. It's just like talking about sports. Like I do this sports show. Everyone has said something about sports before, so they feel like they can do a long form 2-3 hour show talking about sports and put it together until they have to do it. Like I'm sure you've been at open mics and seen people get up there and just get their ass fried because somebody, their cousin or somebody's their girlfriend was like, you know what, baby, you funny as hell. You should get up there. And then 4 minutes seems like 4 hours. You know what I mean?
Oh no, I've seen that many times. I've seen guys that were funny the first couple times and be like, I'm funny as you. And I go, okay, I'm not even, I don't even fight with them about it. I just go, all right, well, I'll tell you what, I'll go up first, and then you go up.
Oh,
and if you do good, great. If you don't, that'll tell you something.
Yeah, that's a setup. Let the pro go do it. Let Michael Jordan do the dunks, and then you follow him. Yeah, that's a setup all the way.
I mean, I do that. I've done that a few times with people, just on the strength of like, okay. Well, if that's what you want to do, if that's what you believe, but that's not the case. Have these cats. There's people that are funny on like YouTube and think they're funny live, and they're not.
Right.
They're not as strong. It is a craft. It is a documentary called Die Laughing that's coming out that explains how hard it is to just get a 45-minute set of material. It's not as easy as it looks. It's just not.
Join on Showtime. The other voice that you're hearing is comedian, actor, activist Shang, comedian Shang on Twitter and Instagram. And make sure you definitely check out the website IamShang.com where you can catch snippets of the new 1 hour special Shangri. For a guy like you, when I talk to you guys, like comedy's like a science to you guys, and no one will ever admit to just like laugh out loud, like belly laughing at things other comedians do, because like I think it was Steve Wilson that told me like, no, because when I'm hearing somebody do the joke, I already know where it's going. I know what the setup is. I know what he's getting to, and I know what the punchline is going to be. Like you're already dissecting like a coach watching football. You can't watch it and be entertained. But so what is it that makes you what makes you belly laugh? Like just bend over and just tear it up laughing.
The worst shit in the world. Like when somebody does something, like stuff you would think people go, oh, I can't believe you laughed at that. I do stuff. I do laugh at stuff that I shouldn't.
No, you should laugh at everything, dude, because you know why? I was just telling my boy this the other day. Right, because me laughing at it is not going to change it from happening. Like if you trip up on the street and you skin the whole side of your face up, and I saw it at the corner of my eye, and I laugh, that's not going to repair your face. It's not going to do anything to help you that I laugh. It's only going to benefit me. It's going to make me happy. So, yeah, dude, I believe in laughing at everything.
And why shouldn't I be happy?
Right, exactly. Everything is funny. Have you seen, I thought they were bringing back Def Jam, but apparently they only brought it back for one episode. Did you see it?
Yeah, it was all Def Digital.
With the joint with Tony Rock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to bring it back too, but no, they're not.
I thought that was crazy funny because the one dude was on there. The reason that every time somebody talks about they shouldn't laugh at something, that dude that was talking about mouth banging babies, it's like you really shouldn't laugh at that. And without context, it sounds like it's terrible, but it was funny as hell. So whatever, dude. He said he went and registered his own self as a sex offender because the kids next door is so damn bad. And so when they kept coming in his yard, he was like, y'all better keep these damn babies from over here. I'm about to start mouth banging one of them in a minute. And that's sick, but it's funny as hell to me because I'm that dude.
Yeah, no, I laugh at that. I don't even care when people get upset about that. And I've said stuff on stage that somebody's, because I was talking about Trump once on stage, and I said, what does he have to do for you to go, I'm not riding with him? Like, because it's like they just will not care whatever he does, even if it's wrong. They just ride with it. And I just said, and I said that. I didn't say mouth banging. I said, what are you finger babies in the street? middle of the street.
Jeez.
What does he have to do, finger a baby in the middle of the street for you to go, you know what? And maybe I shouldn't support. But there's gonna be that one dude. Well, I tell you right now, there was a gummy bear stuck in that baby's butthole,
Right.
and he was trying to make that baby's butthole great again, just like America. And I said that, and somebody else got mad at me. Was like, "Oh, that was disgusting."
It's
But
awesome.
the whole crowd was laughing though when I said that.
There's a
baby had
gummy bear stuck in his butt.
bear stuck in his butthole. And actually, when you got a gummy bear stuck in your butthole, you got to have some. And Trump has little hands too, so he got little hands, so he could get right in there and get that gummy bear out that baby's butthole.
Dude, people are these
and
damn
so,
jackasses are so ridiculous, man.
oh, people get mad, and somebody got mad at me, and I was like, okay, I understand. Yeah, but get over it. Get over it. Stop it.
Y'all got to follow this dude, man, on social media. Because like you're one of the dudes that's always reminding people too, by the way, to stay focused, and I think that's very, very important. Like, moving on from the comedy talk, let's get into some real stuff now. Because you're one of the people that's always reminding people to stay focused. Because there's so much going on, dude. I've watched way more news now. I probably have exceeded my sports watching and watching news and CNN and MSNBC. And my favorite thing is Vice News. Vice News is the best thing since sliced bread.
It's real. It's raw.
Yeah, it's awesome, dude.
Yeah, I love it. I love that one.
So as we move forward, as a comedian, is Trump? Can we describe him as the gift and the curse? It's like he's terrible.
He's for comedy. Oof.
Yeah, he's good for business, right?
Good for business. Good for business.
Such an idiot, man.
Bad for the country. Bad for country. Bad for black folks. Good for business.
That's such a freaking idiot, dude. Like, it's not even one of those things where you could just be like, well, maybe he's just sly like a fox. No, this dude he's like a turd with a 1 IQ, dude, wrapped in one.
Yeah, he's horrible. But you know what? The people that keep following him, I blame them.
Yeah, you got to.
I never go after like I go after, I go after them.
Yeah, because a dog gonna bark. A dog gonna do what a dog do. A parrot gonna a bird gonna tweet. Those things are gonna happen. It's the people who allow the dumb stuff. Like what you just mentioned about the baby is real stuff. When they ask these people about these Russian connections, these cats was like, I still wouldn't mind because you know what? We need to know about Hillary's emails. Really, Jeb? Like really? That's the thing?
Exactly. They're all scary stupid. And like they definitely didn't get enough oxygen when they was babies, and it's just their brain. I mean, they're scary stupid, and nobody wants to admit that they're scary stupid. They want to like let them go and be. I'm no longer giving them a pass. I'm like, if somebody say something stupid, I just go, man. Like somebody said this to me down because Trump's right. We're gonna build a wall and you blacks are next.
Right. I've been saying that for the longest.
I said, you too stupid to talk to. And I turned my back on him. He said, what? I said, you heard me. And you know what? There ain't no Trump supporters here to stop me from knocking your head off. I mean, so then he got real quiet. Oh, of course, go to violence. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go right to violence.
Like, you're supposed to be like, well, since you said that, I decline.
I'm sorry.
Well, thanks for the invitation. Last thing I got for you, man. I appreciate your time as always, man.
Come on, man. Come on. You already know what it is.
Yeah, man. I like because I ain't even write nothing for you, man. I just I want to have a conversation with you because every time I'm watching the news, I swear this to be the truth. Damn near every time I'm watching like CNN or Bill Maher's show or John Oliver's show, like I'm thinking about you. I'm like, I wonder what this dude is saying about this cat, this Russian cat. Got cat sneaking around, passing off information. You know what I mean? Dudes taking money. My man leaking his own tax return. Like he did that. 2 pages of the best tax returns he's ever had. Come on, man. That's right. That's a stunt I would pull. You know what I mean? I'd do that. Like, yeah, see, Ma, this the report card from 3 weeks ago. Look how good it is. Meanwhile, the current one got all F's on it.
He's being sneaky. I think that now that the general asked for immunity, there's trouble.
You already know what that is. He gonna start singing like a damn bird.
He don't want to get in trouble. He don't want to. He's like, I'm not going down. I'm not going down with you, Trump. I'm just not.
How close you been following the Colin Kaepernick situation?
Oh, that made me. Oh, I was so mad about that. And then I was mad. I was watching the Sports Center, and I forget the brother that wears the little hat, heavy set dude. He said some old, okay,
Jason Whitlock.
Black. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you're black. Okay, you wear the Muhammad Ali shirt. It's like,
don't get it.
We get it. What do you mean we get it?
Nah, he don't get it.
What's wrong with that? Yeah, he don't get it. I like what Kaepernick's doing. He's backed up everything he said, not only with his money, but with, and he's definitely not one of the worst quarterbacks at all. There's way worse quarterbacks that he got blackballed. And the fact he's saying that he said he hasn't been blackballed is bullshit.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
I think that Kaepernick, out of all of the sports, at least people I've seen, Kaepernick really had a lot of courage to go out there because he knew people were going to, go at him, and he still didn't care. He said, like, no, this is how I feel. This is what's going on. Cops are killing us in the streets, and I'm going to say something about it. And I've gotten it, too, from, when I've said stuff. When I've said stuff on not only interviews on TV, but on interviews like this.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten people that were mad at me and cussed me out and all kind of stuff because I said, what's wrong with us, like, digging up our own culture? What is wrong with that? I never understood that.
Because all of our rights come with a but. They don't show you that part in the Constitution. It's like the right to assemble peacefully, but you got to do it the way we want you to do it. I mean, there's so many better ways he could have done it. Really, like what? Come on, Aaron. Tell me what the better way was than him just sitting his ass down and not saying nothing. You know what I mean? My man wasn't out there raising hell and you know what I'm saying, wearing a dashiki and none of that stuff on the football field. He just sat down. Yeah, I just think there were better ways for him to do it.
For a song that is racist
as hell.
Period.
Right, racist as hell. But you can't talk about that, though. That's the one thing about this country, my man. Like, everything that's happening now with all these, I call them crumbs, like Hansel and Gretel, that lead back to slavery. Those conversations get kept real quiet. You know what I mean? Until we start talking about, but my flag and my patriotism. All right, but you got an orange goon in the damn White House. That's patriotism? You let him hide every damn thing?
I see people get mad about it, and I see people doing something about it, and that's the people I'm going to ride with. Because that's what I've been doing, man. I post to every day, I post something to basically show the hypocrisy of Trump. And I'm not trying to get it at the people that, like his followers. I don't give a shit about his followers.
Right.
I try to get at the people that will be inspired and angry and say, wait a minute, I'm not standing for this. And I want them to stand up. I want them to be upset and keep the fire of it going. So that's what I'm going to keep doing. And I'm going to keep, every day he's in there, I'm going to diss him.
Real talk.
And I'm going to diss him. He going to get it.
Real talk. Before I let you go, man, what's next for you, man? What you got? What you working on? You just coming back from the Bahamas? What's next?
Yeah, that was. I did that show. That was fantastic. Shout out to DJ Naughty for booking me. He hosted the show. He's a radio personality and comedian down there. I got a show coming up. I'm gonna be at Dangerfields in New York City, April 28th. Wait a minute, let me do it in order. I'm going to be in North Carolina at the Comedy Zone, Clayton, North Carolina, at the Comedy Zone. You go to my website, there'll be information. And then I'll be at Dangerfields in Manhattan, April 28th. I'm doing a show there with a lot of funny comics. Robin Montague, Greer Barnes is going to be on the show, JP Justice. Really strong show. Definitely come out. And then get at me through the website. I'll be doing some shows in Hollywood at the Improv. And I'm going to have free tickets. The first 100 tickets will be free, and then after that, if you miss the cutoff, then you got to pay. So hopefully you don't miss the cutoff. I hope it's first 100 people because that's the kind of deal they've been giving me at the comedy club. So that's real cool.
Sound like a deal to me.
Definitely, get at me through the website, and which is IAMSHANG, and I'll let you know what's going on.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Shang, appreciate your time, brother.
Oh, it's Shangri. Oh, the special Shangri.
Cop that,
That's
man.
right. that. Yeah. I forgot about that. That too.
No doubt, man. Hey, as always, appreciate your time, brother.
Oh, no, thank you, man. Very, 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 very much.
No problem.
All right. Later.
That's Shang, comedian Shang, at comedian Shang on Twitter and Instagram. Also, IamShang.com is the website. That's my guy, man. That dude is real as real gets, man. And I appreciate what he does through his comedy, man. Not taking no shorts, man. You heard him as he gets older, he gets worse, and I can definitely relate, and the people who know me can relate as well. So we'll be back. We'll do on this day when we get back. Also, talk a little NBA, some NFL stuff going on. Adrian Peterson's in Foxborough, but why? I'll tell you guys here in just a second. This is the One Mic with Big Mike show here live. Spreaker, the Spreaker app, tune in, and of course, One Mic with BigMike.com.
I have one question for you.
Do you or someone you know run a business that could benefit from additional exposure? The One Mic with Big Mike show is currently taking on new sponsors and advertisers. One Mic with Big Mike is currently syndicated across 8 different online platforms, and your company's name could be heard and seen across all 8 as well.
Let's get to work.
Please send all inquiries to Mike at onemicwithbigmike.com. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your continued support.
All I need is one mic.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed. And they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
One Mic.
All I need is one mic.
What's the name of the show?
One Mic with Big Mike.
Ain't nobody getting hurt, ain't nobody, there's no crime being committed.
And they say his style is too urban for the radio.
This is real life stuff that's happened to me.
Well, you know what?
You, and you.
One Mic with Big Mike.
I like to be able to do what I want to do.
A sports talk show, but no subject matter is off limits.
Meek Mill's concert is not called the Hell Yeah I Bang Khloe Kardashian concert.
And now, your host.
Put your hands together for the one, the only
Big Mike.
All I need is one mic.
Yes, indeed. Monday here on the One Mic with Big Mike show, coming at you live via Spreaker, SPREAKER.com. I'm also on the TuneIn app. And of course, make sure you check out the website, onemicwithbigmike.com. The show can also be heard on demand on every last one of those platforms, as well as on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Play Music, and YouTube. Shout out to my man, comedian Shang, for joining me. Make sure y'all go and cop the 1 hour special, Shangri, from Target.com, Walmart.com, BestBuy.com.
One question for you.
Sorry about that. Amazon.com. Go check. He's a real funny dude and a real insightful dude. If you heard the interview, he's a real insightful dude and a real thoughtful comedian. And I can appreciate that whole thing. And he's full of nonsense too. You know what I mean? So it's like a good mixture of both. He's a silly ass dude, but he's also mad insightful and thoughtful, and as you guys would put it, hashtag woke, whatever. So definitely shout out to him, and make sure you guys go support what he's doing and follow him on social media too, man, because he always comes with the real stuff as far as what's going on in the world, Agent Orange, that whole situation and whatnot. But right now, let's take some time right now to take a look back.
Now, let's take a look back.
On this day.
All right. Been a while. On this day in 1868, a Hawaiian, he surfs the highest wave ever. He rides a 50-foot tidal wave. No mention here as to whether he survived or not, but he rode it. 50 damn feet. That's like, for perspective's sake, that's 10 basketball goals stacked on top of one each other, like on the rim. Like one goal on top of the other on top of the other 5 times. He surfed a wave that big. That was in 1868 too, so he didn't even have like the top technological advancements in surfing, whatever those are, like the best board. Probably had just like a plank of wood getting busy. On this day in 1923, 2 Black Sox, they sued the Chicago White Sox unsuccessfully for back salary. You remember the White Sox scandal? They threw the World Series and yada, yada, yada. On this day in 1962, jockey Eddie Arcaro retires after 31 years and 24,092 races. I always mention it to you guys, and I don't know if you do it when I say it, but go look up Google the term jockey syndrome. On this day in 1985, the Major League Baseball Players Association agrees to a proposal of the team owners to expand the 1985 League Championship Series from the best of 5 games to the best of 7 games. By the way, Major League Baseball kicked off yesterday and today, like in true baseball fashion. Nothing really has to make sense. We have opening day, and we have opening day part 2. But yes, whatever, man. Like, either it's opening day or it's not. You know what I mean? You really just can't have 2 because you say so. Like a soft opening, like as a club. Have the soft opening, then we have the real opening. Where am I at here? On this day in 2002, Michael Jeffrey Jordan, I call him by his full name when I'm talking about him as a player, not as a sneaker executive or as a team owner. Michael Jeffrey Jordan of the Washington Wizards announced that he was done for the season due to a knee injury. This is when it started breaking down. So all you people who talk about Jordan didn't rest, maybe he should have a little bit, especially when he's playing when he's old as hell, playing on his badass Wizards team. On this day in 2005, Alex Sanchez, one of our Brown brethren, he becomes the first Major League Baseball player to be publicly identified under baseball's new steroid policy. The Tampa Bay outfielder was suspended for 10 days for testing positive for performance-enhancing drugs. And finally, on this day in 2006, U.S. President George Bush, oh boy, how we might long for those days. He threw out the first pitch at the Cincinnati Reds opening home game. And ladies and gentlemen, that is your Monday episode, or your Monday edition of On This Day. I don't know if I should say shout out to the Braves. Braves got it pushed all the way in today. I was watching the game because I got to learn the names. There's a bunch of new players, people not named Julio Teheran or not named Freddie Freeman. I got to learn a whole bunch of new names for the Braves because I think they may be worth paying a little bit of attention to this year because they're young and talented. They got Matt Kemp, know that name too. They supposedly got like a good center fielder now. He made a good throw earlier, but it got overturned. Made a good throw to the plate earlier. Thought the guy was out, but he slid perfect slide, pointed his toe at the base, and replay showed that he was safe. So it was all for naught. But then they end up. I turned the channel back 6-0. I was like, oh god, this can't be happening. Like, I only rock with baseball when the Braves are good, and I expect them to be like decent so that I can pay attention to the games because there's so many of them, and I really don't care till around like Labor Day or whatever what's happening in the pennants and these things. So when the Braves are bad, it just sucks for me. It sucks like major balls. Speaking of shout out to Patrick Ewing, the sweatiest Negro to ever don a basketball uniform. Patrick Ewing, he gets the head coaching job out there at Georgetown, so he'll be in line for some of those bonuses that I mentioned in the last segment the first segment when it comes to heading to the NCAA final. Where is Georgetown now? Like what league do they play in? The Big East is no more, so what league do they even play in right now? Anyway, let's move on to the NBA because we're getting towards the end of the season right now in the NBA, and I always love to kind of look back sometimes at some of the stupidity that happens when people overreact to certain things. You remember people did it when the Eagles signed Nnamdi Asomugha, and they already had Mike Vick, and they signed who was it? Was it Cullen Jenkins, and then Vince Young signed, and they started talking about the Dream Team, and they sucked. They were terrible because it was all it was a bunch of names that you knew. not dudes that can necessarily play. You know what I mean? And people freaked out. I watched a dude at the station I was working at the time run out of the room when Nnamdi Asomugha signed with the Eagles. He was a Redskins fan. Ran down the damn hallway. That move, that free agency signing, ended that man's career. He's now Kerry Washington's husband. No longer is he Nnamdi Asomugha. So people do that all the time. So this summer, Kevin Durant left Oklahoma City when he wanted to go play basketball. He wanted to go play basketball in San Francisco. Wanted a new job in a new place, playing with new coworkers. And people lost their damn mind. One of the main people that lost their mind was some of y'all favorite loudmouth, gas bag ass dude, Stephen A. Smith. Here's what Stephen A. Smith had to say before the season started.
Kevin Durant has ruined the regular season.
Ruined it, he said. Look.
Kevin Durant has ruined the regular season.
Yeah, it's been a pretty decent regular season for me, personally. You know what I mean? Like, of course, you start off with what's happening in Houston with James Harden. Shout out to James Harden, the bounce back year this year. After last year, not even getting not now team on the All NBA team. He balled last year too. He finished second in the MVP 2 years ago to Steph Curry. All right. Didn't even get All NBA anything last year. For what I understand, I think I heard Rex Chapman talking about how, he dropped the Kardashian. So the Kardashian coochie curse was no longer on him. Hit the gym, got stronger, got more durable. Got with Mike D'Antoni. Here's one of those times where Charles Barkley said something that made sense, that, Mike D'Antoni coaching you, especially as a ball handler, is going to automatically elevate your stats like 20%. I don't know about the actual percentage, but it is going to give you a boost in what you already know how to do. See Steve Nash, see now James Harden. And James Harden, Mike D'Antoni said when the season started, James Harden's going to be my point guard. And people was like, what? He shoots too much. You know why people say stupid stuff like that? Because you still have this concept in your head of a quote unquote real point guard. That's not even a thing. You're looking for a Rod Strickland. You know what I mean? That's what you're looking for. John Stockton. Miss me with it. No. That whole, the NBA right now is really kind of positionless. Like, Steph Curry plays quote unquote point guard. But most of the time, Draymond Green has the ball in his hands at the top of the circle. They play the lineup with him and Sean Livingston in the game. Sean Livingston's 6'7". He's a small forward, basically, but skinny. Like that whole Dame Lillard, John Wall, talking about the season being irrelevant. John Wall's had a nice season at the point guard position in the East. Of course, Kyrie Irving, Isaiah Thomas. You know what I'm saying? Out west, everything's been going good. You got James Harden. And here's my question when it comes to these two dudes. You know what I mean? For the people because last week while I wasn't here, the whole a little steam was put behind the concept of a co-MVP. Miss me with that dumbness. Somebody just need to be disappointed this year. And there's ways to figure it out. There's these things called advanced analytics and things of that nature that, based on those things, James Harden is your MVP. Even if you get past the fact that his team has won more, that whole crap about he's on a better team with who? I mean, okay, now they got Lou Williams, but before then it was Corey Brewer was in that joint. Who, what's my man's name? The other dude, the other shooter that they have. I can't even think of his name. I can see his face, but I can't even think of his name right now. But my point is the same thing. That team and that OKC team, pretty much the same. The only difference is that Mike D'Antoni actually has a system. I'm not sure that Billy Donovan has a system any different than Scotty Brooks' system. Other than the fact that now, instead of it's give the ball to KD and Russ and get out the way when the fourth quarter comes. Now just give the ball to Russ and get out the way. And he's got dudes on his team that acquiesce to, and that's the other part of this whole MVP conversation that's a lot of times being missed. The fact, and I posted this on my Facebook today, One Mic with Big Mike on Facebook, that his teammates are actually kind of bumping for him to kind of pad his stats. Russ, I mean, and I can't believe I'm doing this. Like, so long being like one of the only people that I knew of to be Team Russ, that understood this dude was a wild man on the basketball court, but it was entertaining to me. I loved every minute of it. The people saying, oh, he won't last. Charles Barkley, he won't last. He's not a true point guard. He won't last playing point guard in this league. Well, now you have 2017 looking at you. And the man's going to average a triple-double for an entire season. Now, as not to poo-poo on that accomplishment, because it is what it is, and no one thought he would be able to do it. Because the way he plays, the energy and the ferocity with which he plays, it felt like there was no way he could keep up that same level of play for an entire season. There's been lulls, there have been dips, but that happens with every great player, with every player, period. So with that being said, his teammates do a lot, to box people out so he can get like what they call uncontested rebounds. You know what I mean? To be able to pad those rebound stats, because that part might be the hardest thing at the point guard position, to make sure you can secure at least 10 rebounds a game. That, and the fact that there are no shooters on this team. Like Dougie McBuckets is there now, and he hadn't been Mr. McBuckets in his NBA career. But even before him, like Victor Oladipo, that kid Roberts, who no one even checks him. No one even guards him because he can't shoot the basketball. You got Enes Kanter, and then the other big dude with the mustache. It's like, they have no shooters, and he's still able to average the numbers he does assist-wise. Now, Harden still leads him in assists, and he's somewhere like 2 rebounds shy of Russ. And I don't think 2 rebounds is enough to say that James Harden isn't the most valuable player, or as I feel like it should be. I think the most valuable player thing is only there to induce conversation. Once it's awarded to whoever it's awarded to, so that it fills up a couple of days of talk time in sports radio and in sports television. The award should definitely be, I don't believe like Rachel Nichols thinks there should be two awards. No, it should just be one, but it should be the most outstanding player, and it should be given to the person who had the most outstanding season. Because there's no one that even doubts that LeBron James, year in and year out, is the most valuable player to not just his team, to the NBA as a whole. Like, a lot of people got a lot of money in their pockets based on that guy and the power model that he set before the players that are to come after him. Now, he's done his job into kind of quelling that a little bit with this new CBA, and it'll hit him pretty soon here. Once we get to the point where guys want to make moves and they want to go to other teams and do the LeBron or do the Kevin Durant situation, they're going to find out it's going to be a little bit harder to do monetarily than it was for those two guys. The other thing out of what's happening in the NBA, people are starting to worry. People who didn't think they would need to worry, or about things that they didn't think they were going to need to worry about when the season started. One being the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's probably the most glaring thing. They're in second place right now to the Boston Celtics, who, shout out to Brad Stevens, by the way. Like, we hearing all this stuff about Mike D'Antoni and what he's doing and Coach of the Year stuff, but shout out to Brad Stevenson, man. He's doing major work up there in Boston. Got them guys in first place, Isaiah and Marcus Smart, Al Horford. Shout out to Al Horford up there. Before I go any further, let me give you guys quickly, so I don't run out of time, where we stand right now as far as the playoffs are concerned. I already mentioned that the Celtics are atop the Eastern Conference. They're cemented there. The Warriors are cemented in their spots. Pretty much the Spurs and the Rockets are pretty much where they want to be right now. The Jazz, the Clippers, and the Thunder, they're within 3 games of each other. It's like 3 games total separating them. And then you got the East, who outside, shout out to the Wizards as well. The Wizards have surpassed the Raptors, who were the number 2 seed last year. Of course, Kyle Lowry has been gone with injury. Out with injury. So when he gets back, that team should be better as well, because, of course, they acquired, during the trade deadline, they acquired Serge Ibaka to give them another shooter, a presence at the rim, things that'll help them get out of the East. And hopefully Kyle Lowry comes back healthy. You got the baby Bucks, the Hawks in the back end at number, I don't know what number this is right now. I'm looking at 7 for the Hawks right now. They still got a chance to move up a little bit, but they're in a little tight race here. The Pacers, Heat, the Bulls, the Hawks, and the Bucks, like 3 games separate them. So right now, the playoff scenarios go like this. Warriors, Blazers, Spurs, Grizzlies, Rockets, Thunder, please. Jazz, Clippers, I'm down with that too. For those of you who hadn't seen the Jazz play this year, they play a different style of basketball. Gordon Hayward and the boys, Rudy Gobert. I think Rudy Gobert plays for them. They play defense out there in Utah, man, lately. And this Clipper situation, I've been saying it for years. Don't trust it. I don't care how good they seem to have gotten, and they had a cute nickname for a while, Lob City and all that. Okay, win some ball games. Like, win more. Like, Vinny Del Negro was there and he didn't win enough. Doc Rivers is winning the same amount of the games with better players. Just saying. I know people like Doc, but Doc ain't better than Vinny. They're the same dude, basically. You know what I mean? Just that Doc needs a throat lozenge. In the East, the Celtics and the Heat in the first round. I'm with that. The Cavaliers and the Bulls, I passed. Dwayne Wade's out for the season or whatever. The Raptors and the Hawks, I don't know. Like, I haven't enjoyed Hawks basketball this year, and out of the 3 teams that play here in the city, like, I kind of have a little bit of an affinity for the Hawks more so. I think they get ignored more times than not. But the Hawks are going to find out, and Hawks fans are going to find out something real brutal real soon. Paul Millsap is going to opt out of this deal. They can pay him to come back, but Paul Millsap is like 33, 34 years old. You think that's going to be the cornerstone of your situation? And if he does leave to go somewhere where they have a better chance of competing, let's say, I don't know, the Celtics probably don't want him no more because Al Horford's up there now. Not the Cavs. The Raptors just got Serge Ibaka. I don't know. He might be West Coast bound. Houston or somewhere. You know what I mean? He might be West Coast bound. Either way, the Hawks without that dude, we've seen that picture. Like, Dwight Howard is not the dude that's going to carry your franchise. I said that when he first signed here. Like, all the excitement was for nothing. Dwight's coming home. That's not LeBron, cuz. Not even close. And they're going to find out soon. They're going to have to find themselves at the bottom of this thing in order to work themselves back up. And it's going to take a good eye in the draft. You know what I mean? Before then, like this year, next year, if they just kind of level off around, the 7th seed, 6th seed or whatever. You got the Wizards and the Bucks. Yeah, please, for that. I'm all about that John Wall, Brad Beal situation. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Them young guys up there with the Bucks. I'm all about their life too. I'm excited for the NBA playoffs. I think next Saturday is the day. Yeah, hell yeah. I'm ready to rock, man. I don't know some of you guys. We talked about this earlier in the season. Some of you guys only checking for the NBA around playoff time. That's your prerogative or whatnot. But I think for me, the NBA, the season has been good. It's been the NBA is talent rich right now.
Kevin Durant has ruined
he hasn't.
The regular season.
You're wrong. Kevin Durant hasn't ruined the regular season. He's looking to come back this Saturday, though, and everybody, it amazes me how people just make up stuff to talk about. Well, now you see they took a little step back when he went out, and then Steph Curry found his range, but now they're gonna have to share the basketball again. Like, these are people who have watched this team play. Sharing the basketball is what they do. That's exactly what they do in Golden State. They share the damn basketball, which makes it ever so much more evident why Kevin Durant went to Golden State. I got something else on him too, as a matter of fact. Him and Shaq back at it again, and he kind of read Shaq, the riot act on this situation, and he's 100% right. And I always love when these dudes just don't, like, these people, these ex-players who feel like they're owed some sort of level of respect because of what they did in the past, miss me with the craziness, man. You remember the stuff with Kevin Durant and JaVale McGee, who, by the way, shout out to JaVale McGee, man. People laughed. Talking about going back to the beginning of the season, people laughed when they picked up JaVale McGee because what's the dude's name? The African kid that they had that was a rim protector or whatever. It was like, that's who you got to replace that? Yep, exactly. JaVale McGee's been playing some good basketball on both ends of the court. Like, he's missed some layups and some dunks or whatever, in JaVale McGee style. But JaVale McGee is giving them a lot more than a lot of people anticipated him giving them. Now, before I go to break here real quick, here's what happened lately. Kevin Durant was on Bill Simmons' podcast. Yes, Bill Simmons never goes away for too long. And you remember Shaq saying, he made this comment, it's like Kevin Durant got 0 rings, so he can't talk to him, which is an ignorant, stupid statement. It's not even like he was talking about building a championship or nothing. He was just talking about defending his teammate. He was just defending his teammate. So Kevin Durant goes on Bill Simmons' show and he says, he said, I can't talk to him because I haven't won a championship. I can see right through that. Shaq feels validated in life, not just basketball, because he's won a championship. To say I can't say anything to him about my teammate who you tried to bully for no reason, I can't come to his defense because I haven't won a championship. That shows me your whole life is centered around the fact that you feel like you're someone in the world because you won a championship. For me, it ain't even about that. It goes on to say, if I have something to say, I'm going to say it. I feel like if you're going to come at my teammate, I'm going to protect him. That's what leaders are supposed to do. Man, you've got flaws too, and you're just trying to pick on JaVale. Obviously, JaVale would never be Shaq. He's trying out here like everybody else. I just try to have his back. Shout out to KD for that, man. You know what I mean? Like, he ain't owe Shaq no explanation, but what he's saying is absolutely true. That whole nonsense about you can't even talk to me. Don't even come at me because you haven't won no ring. Okay, and you know what I mean? It's so stupid. We'll come back. I want to dive into this a little bit deeper, so we'll do that next, right here on the One Mic with Big Mike show.
I have one question for you.
Do you or someone you know run a business that could benefit from additional exposure? The One Mic with Big Mike show is currently taking on new sponsors and advertisers. One Mic with Big Mike is currently syndicated across 8 different online platforms, and your company's name could be heard and seen across all 8 as well.
Let's get to work.
Please send all inquiries to Mike at onemicwithbigmike.com. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your continued support.
All I need is one mic.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
And now back to One Mic with Big Mike.
And here we go!
La la la. Welcome back to the One Mic with Big Mike show. Last segment of the show, the death to auto tunes. Trying to shake the rust off, man. It's weird when you haven't done this in like a week, just a week away. You feel rusty. I felt rusty in my preparation today. I couldn't really sink my teeth into anything significant. I'm not the guy who gets on here and breaks down games. This is going on right now on my television above me here, and like, I don't know. I don't get into all the statistics, and I know who's going to win this game, and this is why they're going to win. There's 2 big two big basketball teams going at it today. One, traditional blue blood, and one in Gonzaga, who my man Cinco Walls from the breaks. He said they was too soft and they wouldn't make it. Well, here we are. There's some big old boys. That big boy from Poland, I tweeted it yesterday. I need a birth certificate on that dude, like ASAP. You know what I mean? Not on some nationality stuff, like on some rec league. Is he really the age he says he? Like some dude. Don't you hate these dudes too? Like, you say something like that, it doesn't matter how old he is. It just matters how much eligibility he has. It's like, come on, you gotta be that guy. You gotta be that dude. You can just scroll past, man, if you don't understand like the sarcasm. I don't really want to see this dude's birth certificate, my guy. I'm making a comment on the elderly state of his look. You know what I mean? Anyway, before I went to break, I was talking about Kevin Durant kind of addressing the situation with Shaquille O'Neal, saying that he can't talk to him because he doesn't have any rings yet. And the part I want to talk about, the part of what Kevin Durant said that I want to talk about that I found very interesting, and a lot of people probably won't take, I probably won't believe this about him. You know what I mean? When he says, that shows me your whole life is centered around the fact that you feel like you're someone in this world because you won a championship. For me, it ain't even about that. And that, to me, that's a bold statement, you know, for a dude that has a very good opportunity, very clear opportunity to win a championship. And I think it illuminates him leaving Oklahoma City. It puts him leaving Oklahoma City in a different light as well. Because the argument was, y'all was right there. Y'all was up 3-1. All you had to do, you know, was close out the series, you know, come back next year and do it again. And I was making the argument that maybe the effort that was put into just getting into that position was just too much. You know what I mean? It ain't about him not liking Russ or not liking the city of Oklahoma City. Just too much. You know what I mean? Like, Let me put it into a more personal example. Like what I'm doing right now, right? With this show, where I have to produce the content, I have to pull the sound, I have to do the website updates, I have to do the social media posts. If I could do this at a radio station and have a producer and have people, you know, run the board and take care of the sound effects and all that kind of stuff, things would probably be smoother. I know they would, because I've been in that position before, and things would go smoother, but I don't have that option. But I would love to be doing the same thing, but a little less hands-on, to be able to actually focus on the product itself and the things that are actually coming out of my mouth and going into the microphone. That's not something that I don't currently have that luxury. In Kevin Durant's situation, same thing. Okay, maybe you don't get 28 points. Maybe you get 24 points a night, but you get them more efficiently. It allows you to be a better defender because you're not working so hard offensively. For all the people who complain about Carmelo and people who complain about James Harden and their defense or lack thereof, without taking into consideration the offensive load that these guys have to carry for their basketball teams. Like, everybody's not Michael Jordan, man. Everybody's not Kobe Bryant. You can't use them as the example every time because they are, in fact, the exception. Everybody ain't built like those dudes. Everybody ain't built like LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Like, most people, like Reggie Miller. Got any glaring stories about Reggie Miller's defense? No, Reggie Miller's a shooter. He's an assassin with the basketball in his hands. You don't get that always. Karl Malone, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Anything stand out to you guys defensively about those dudes? Not really. But now with Kevin Durant can be a 7-footer defensively. He can be a rim protector. That rim protector that y'all said he lost, Festus Ezeli. That's the name I was thinking about earlier. Festus Ezeli. Y'all thought they lost a rim protector when Festus Ezeli. Well, now they got another 7-footer. And with JaVale McGee there and Draymond, my gosh. Like, Draymond at 6'7", he is so adept at that rule of verticality. He's able to go straight up and down on you and get block shots that way. Like Draymond, while everybody's talking about MVP, there's going to be something to be said about the defensive player of the year. Draymond, Kawhi, Pat Beverly, you know what I mean? There's going to be something to say about that, man, because there's some guys that are really in this league taking pride in their defense. And it ain't got to be, it's not Bill Laimbeer or Rick Mahorn and people knocking cats out. It's cats really playing defense, fundamentally sound defense. That's why I can't get down with the whole, back in the day, boy, there were dudes that were allowed to play basketball that didn't have actual basketball skill. That's not that could never be a thing. Like, come on, man, Charles Oakley. You put Charles Oakley in a basketball game today, in an NBA basketball game today, he has no place in the game. Because he was limited as hell as a basketball player. Rick Mahorn, same thing. So anyway, the whole concept of Kevin Durant saying that it's not all about the championship for him. It's more than that for me. I think that's a big deal. You know what I mean? And that doesn't say to me that he doesn't want to win a championship, but that he'll be all right if he doesn't win one. He understands who he is as a player. And there are times where people have to be Patrick Ewing. People have to be Karl Malone, John Stockton. You know what I mean? These guys who just, they have these awesome careers, the Charles Barkleys of the world, they have these awesome careers, but it just doesn't get culminated. And I don't give Patrick Ewing credit or Charles Barkley credit or Karl Malone credit because they played in the era with Michael Jordan. So what? So what? He's one man. You lost every time out. Yeah, that doesn't do it for me. The reality is that you don't have a ring, no matter how you didn't get it. And Karl Malone tried, by the way. That whole Lakers situation and all that. Him and Gary Payton finally got one. As the 11, like sitting by Juwan Howard on the Heat's bench. So I think what happens with Kevin happened with Kevin Durant. People just transferring. Like LeBron's situation was about the rings. He made no bones about that. The whole not 5, not 6, it was about the rings for him. But there's so many other factors in play when you talk about the difference between Oklahoma City and San Francisco. First of all, Kevin Durant's not from either place. One place just happened to move him there. He didn't choose to move there. He got drafted by Seattle. He didn't choose to go there either. He got drafted to live in Seattle. The team moved him to Oklahoma City. Now, while he was there, he did a bunch of good things. Hurricane relief, had him a restaurant and all that kind of stuff. Became a pillar of the community. But when it was time to make a decision on where I want to play basketball and where at this point in my career my skills can be highlighted the most, because it can't be easy. As much as I love watching Russell Westbrook play, I don't have to be Russell Westbrook's teammate. I don't have to be Kevin Durant, one of the top 3 best players in the NBA. And in the fourth quarter, I have to watch Russ pound the ball into the ground. And then when he can't get a shot, throw it to me with 7 seconds on the clock for a bailout. Nah, you know what I mean? The cutting, the back picking, the help, all that kind of stuff that comes with Oklahoma City, it works for Kevin Durant. It works with his game. And the other thing that he brings to them that they needed more so or as much as he needed their style of play, he is the one person on that team that in crunch time can always get his shot. You can't physical him out of his shot. He can get wherever he wants to on the basketball court anytime he wants to. He can shoot over anybody in the NBA. That's not Steph's game, especially during the playoffs. That's not Draymond's game, obviously. Clay is a catch and shoot type of guy. They needed that guy, that creator, that guy who can get his own shot. And that's where you'll see the benefit. You'll see Kevin Durant, the value of having a Kevin Durant on your ball club show up when in these playoff games where the possessions are so valuable and the games come down a lot of times. Last year there was a hell of a lot of blowouts, but most cases these games come down to this decision or that decision, this made shot or that made shot or that missed shot. And now you got a guy who ain't got to work as hard for his shot. That can't play the one-on-one game. Like Steph can make you dance. He can sit out there at 3-point line and make you dance. But, when it comes to breaking them down and getting to the rim, sometimes, Steph he's not an explosive player. So he has to get real tricky around the rim, and that don't always work. All right, last thing before I get out of here for the night, and I appreciate everybody for joining me. This is the One Mic with Big Mike show. Make sure you guys are signing up for your Spreaker accounts, man. Shout out to everybody who's the new followers I got on Spreaker, but I'm definitely looking for more. Spreaker.com, Spreaker.com. Make sure you guys go there. Sign up for your free accounts, your free profile, like signing up for Twitter or Instagram or any of these things that you already signed up for. And also, once you do that, follow my show, One Mic with Big Mike, the number 1, MICWITHBIGMIKE. And that way you get an alert every time my show goes live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Also, make sure you check out the brand new One Mic with Big Mike website. The brand new logos is up. I got some stuff coming from my windscreens and all that kind of stuff, so I can, re-logo everything and get some gear popping off and all that kind of stuff. And also, the giveaways are going to happen here pretty soon for people who want to get some of these Atlanta Hawks fitted hats or snapback hats or whatever. I got to just figure out a way to do it. I might get with my player partner and see what kind of ideas he can throw my way. I do not think the live stream is working today. The streaming app or program is actually saying I'm streaming live, but I don't see the live stream on my Facebook page. So if you guys see it, fine and dandy, cool. I'm at One Mic with Big Mike on Facebook. Also, same thing for Twitter and Instagram. You still got time to text me. You can text me at any time, by the way. Even if you're not listening to the show live, you can text the show and I'll address it on the next live show, 404-902-8104, or jump on inside this live interactive chat room I got going on here. Just click on that little thought bubble icon that you see on the streaming player. It'll get you right up inside the building. Lastly, let's tackle the NFL real quick before I get up out of here tonight. A couple of things going on right now. Your man, Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is a guy who understands now. I think he has for a while. Understands the power that he brings to the table in the NFL and how he can make things move. He gets teams to L.A. He gets teams to Vegas now. And now Jerry Jones is saying about this weed situation, these weed punishments and whatnot. Do we have to have them? Is it necessary? You know what I mean? That we have, such stringent weed policies. And the NFL's weed policy is a joke, to be honest with you. Even outside of the medicinal benefits of marijuana, the policy itself is ridiculous. They have the what's the word I'm looking for? The toughest weed policy of all the four major sports. For the guys who probably need it the most, when you do talk about the medicinal side of it, the guys who need it the most are more apt to getting popped for it. You got the thresholds are a lot lower, even after they raised them. Because before, they were higher than the Olympics. They were higher than like fighter pilots. Like a fighter pilot could smoke more weed than an NFL player. That makes no sense at all. But anyway, in a private meeting at the annual owners meetings or whatever in Phoenix, Jerry Jones told the other owners that he wants the NFL to quote unquote drop its prohibition on marijuana use. And collectively, all players said, how do I get on the Cowboys team? Which I don't know why you want to play for the Cowboys. If it happens, you want to play for the Seahawks or the Broncos, you know what I mean? Or the Redskins. You want to play somewhere where the weed is legal. I was about to say where the lead is legal. You get what I'm saying, though. He didn't stop there, though. He also said that he wants the teams, the owners, who are Roger Goodell's bosses, essentially. He wants them to figure out how much the commissioner is compensated, because, like, I guess Jerry Jones thinks his salary is getting out of hand. They have something called a compensation committee that currently does it, but he feels like if we the bosses, we should determine how much this dude get paid. I don't know if that means more or less. If I'm thinking the way that these rich white boys think, I'm probably gonna think less. You know what I mean? Less for you, more for us. He also says that he, quote, wants the league to end, quote, the practice of investigating off-field misconduct. Now, in taking into consideration the author of these statements, it sounds self-serving, right? Because you got a guy like Randy Gregory who ain't played hardly no football since you drafted him because of weed, which really the problem is bigger than that for him. You know what I mean? Because this is a dude who, if I'm not mistaken, he either flunked the test at the combine or he just admitted to drug use or to the weed use at the combine. He had some problems with it at Nebraska, but also told people that, look, man, this is what I take for my anxiety and was it depression that he said? I don't have it in front of me, but he talked about like depression or anxiety or something like that, and the weed helps him. But then he said, you know what? I'm gonna keep off of it, and I'm gonna fly the straight and narrow. But that's kind of hard to do. You know what I mean? When you're actually doing it for a purpose and it's not just an addiction. And if you're a guy who doesn't want to be on pills and popping antidepressant pills and things of that nature, that's a really, really tough circumstance for that kid to be in. And the NFL is just like, so what? Damn your depression. F you're out of the league. You can't play here. If you can't play here depressed, you don't need to play here. It's like, that's whack. You know what I mean? Because there is no context involved in why you do the things that you do. The NFL just treats him like he's some, methamphetamine user or something. And then the other thing that Jerry Jones says, of course, the practice of investigating off-field misconduct, which, again, the author of it makes it seem a little nefarious, but the reality is that the NFL is not, they're not a law enforcement agency. They're football brand, and all this crap about perception and all this kind of stuff. That's all they care about. So they want people to feel as though they're doing all that they can do when really the legal system is what it is. And who cares about people complaining that these athletes get away with everything because they got money? All right, well, whatever. Rich white boys, that's a creed that rich white boys in this country have lived by forever and ever. To right now, I don't know if you guys have been checking out the Khalif Browder situation, but that's a perfect example of a dude that didn't have no money, that got hung up in the system for 3 years, 2 of them in solitary confinement in Rikers Island, which, by the way, I guess they're trying to close it down now. It's going to take 10 years to close the jail, whatever the hell that means. So this kid ends up killing himself for nothing. He was never charged with anything, never convicted of anything. His only crime was being poor. He couldn't pay the bond to get out. He couldn't bond out. So the reality is, like, rich people, what's that dude's name? Robert Dirch? He cut a dude up. He cut a dude's body up and went home because he's a billionaire. So that nonsense about these athletes get away with everything because they have money. All right, welcome to America. The fact of the matter is the legal system is there, and the other reality is not perfect. And certain people have certain advantages when it comes to the legal system. But for Roger Goodell to take that out of the hands of the people who are trained and who get paid to be that and say, no, we're going to take care of it. Ezekiel Elliott, no charges brought in Ohio for this sexual assault claim. Oh, that ain't good enough for the NFL. We're going to investigate it. And not only are we going to investigate it, we're going to take forever to do it. This happened at the beginning of the season. We're about to be into the next season. They about to start reporting. The new coaches already have guys reporting for mini camp or whatever now. And it still ain't been resolved by the NFL. Yeah, miss me with that crazy bull crap, man. Let me make sure I clean the plate because I'm about to get up out of here. We're going to watch some of this basketball game. Once again, University of North Carolina. Who, by the way, I don't know if you saw this. They rescinded the bathroom bill, but not really. I guess the bathroom portion of it is gone. But then they made it where there can be no protections written into law to protect LGBTQ people. It's like, all right. It's never just what it is, man. It's never just just stop effing with people, man. You know what I mean? Because of your dumbass religious beliefs. Just stop effing with people. But that is what it is. Let me make sure I clean the plate real quick and get everything out. I talked about the coaches already. Oh, I didn't talk about this, though. Adrian Peterson. And hopefully, while I'm doing the show, he hasn't signed with the Patriots because it's going to knock down every point that I'm about to make right now. Apparently, he's going to visit the Patriots. After the Patriots said they weren't interested in him, they brought him in today and they worked him out. He actually did a workout. That never happens for big-time dudes. You just go in, you sign the papers. And they worked him out. Obviously, Adrian Peterson coming off of an injury. He came back for a little while last season, but it wasn't really worth it for him to come back because the Vikings turned into what the Vikings were supposed to be after starting off 5-0 or something. And the Patriots brought him in. Of course, LeGarrette Blount, their big power back, 18 touchdown scoring back, is a free agent. He hadn't signed either. So I look at it this way. 2 things might be in play. 2 things or one of 2 things might be at play. The Patriots are just kind of throwing Adrian Peterson a bone because Bill Belichick likes the guy, right? And says, you know what? We bring him in here, make it look like we're interested in him, gives other teams to be looking. It's almost like the kid that's getting recruited by Nick Saban. He may not have been getting recruited by anybody else. But now that Nick Saban's interested in him, everybody's like, hold on, who is this kid? Maybe we got to take another look at this guy, you know? Same thing with Bill Belichick. If Bill Belichick is interested in Adrian Peterson, well, maybe we missed something. If you're like the Bengals, or if you're like the, I don't know, whoever else might need a running back this year. The Packers. You know what I mean? Maybe you get him a second look by some of these teams and the visits start picking up. The other thing is maybe they just kind of, you know, try to stall out LeGarrette Blount. Like, what you waiting on, B? You know what I mean? You can come on back in here. We got a little money for you. Maybe not as much as you think you might be worth, but of course, we the Patriots. We'll give you what we think you're worth. Come on back in here and share this backfield, because there ain't been a lot of chatter about LeGarrette Blount either. So maybe it's they using Adrian Peterson to get at the guy who they really want, and in a way still helping him out, because they worked the dude out too. Like I say, they had him in the facility and worked him out, so that now somebody calls the Patriots like, how did he look? You know, he looked good or whatever. And they give him a glowing review, and then, you know, the momentum starts picking up, and then somebody, Packers again, like I said, maybe go after him or whatnot. But I don't know that the Patriots are serious, and maybe they give him like this bottom basement Patriots number, and he says, all right, to play for you guys, I'll take the veterans minimum, which is like wild, but whatever. And not only take the veterans minimum, but share the backfield with two other guys. This is where Adrian Peterson's at now. It never ends pretty. For most football players, and definitely for running backs, it rarely ends in a pretty way. And this is where we're at right now. Last thing I got for you guys, Hard Knocks just signed up 4 more years. I really thought that ship had sailed, man. Like, who cares anymore? Like, the Hard Knocks thing was, at one point, it was like, man, an inside look at blah, blah, blah. But now it's so ridiculous and stupid now. Like, the Ram situation last year was bad. Dudes talking about they don't believe that dinosaurs existed, and Todd Gurley playing for the cameras, and Tavon Austin, and they end up being so horribly bad at football. I'm not interested, like the Buccaneers or whoever is up for it this year. You know what? I'm good. But, you know, I did read in the article that I saw this in, it made a good point. They said that Hard Knocks is the one thing, because they use the NFL films guys, they tend to show the NFL in a good light. You know, and good PR is what the NFL is all about. You know, forget your entertainment value. I won't watch an episode of it this year. I won't. I'm done. You know, I've seen all I need to see. I've seen the Ravens on it a couple times, the Jets, the Falcons. I've seen the Rams and whoever else. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. All right. Speaking of being good, that doesn't apply to this particular show, but shout out to my guy Shang, comedian Shang, at comedian Shang on Twitter and Instagram. Check out the website I Am Shang, and make sure you guys cop the new 1 hour special he filmed in New York called Shangri. Very politically astute guy, funny ass dude, real cat. I got to mark the episode as explicit because he talked about, he used some curse words, which I appreciate. You know what I mean? I appreciate it for doing that. But just a real cat, man, and appreciate it. And shout out to him, and thank you to him for taking the time out to join me coming off a trip. We didn't really talk about his trip to the Bahamas. Like, he flew out and flew back in like one day, 10 hours there, 12 hours back. However that works, but that's what he told me, so I got no choice but to believe it. All right, man, that's gonna do it for now. Come back on Wednesday, Hump Day, aka Woman Crush Wednesday, also just Wednesday, and we'll do it again here on the One Mike with Big Mike show. Talk to you guys later.